So we have Kevin Sabo joining us again, Brian Gust and Lance Lewis is still on with us. And we have Patrick Taylor rejoining the meeting and Jackie Norton rejoining.
Stu didn't come back?
No. I think he figured I would just call me tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't see him in the waiting room or anything.
If,
I got Brian here. There we go. Okay.
good.
Go ahead, Council.
If it pleases the chair, I would like to make a motion to accept the presentation from Bear Hills Family Wellness Center and note that we look forward to their formal application.
Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. There, now we can move on to the hot button issue of the day. The photocopier.
What? You guys don't find the photocopy exciting?
They just said it is.
It's the issue.
Our current photocopier is owned by the town. It's getting older. The possibility of breakdowns. I guess we purchased it in 2013. The amusing part was we purchased it for about $11,000.
Wow, big change.
Yeah, and in the past when we had a breakdown, it certainly slows us down to almost nothing. Cost comparisons are attached for purchasing versus leasing. With the current transport situation within the country and globally, we could be facing challenges for repair parts or replacement unit. Administratively, we thought it would be preferable to be proactive with planning for the replacement. The town restricted for operating, we have an administration reserve currently has $10,535.80. The recommendation would be to purchase it outright, accessing this reserve. The other option could be to lease the unit and offset the lease costs into the annual operating budget, or we could continue with the unit as it is and plan for replacement in 2023.
BDSS, or I say BDSS, Community Resource Center, just have a new lease coming in, and it was supposed to be here months ago, and it could be up to 6-7 months before we get it. It's a long wait.
So this is something that needs to be dealt with
Yeah,
now.
I would deal with it sooner rather than later. Can I ask Teresa, like what the way we do it is we have a lease with all maintenance, everything is covered.
Yep.
Is that the same one? Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
you. We use a certain company. I guess I don't have the information handy. We've kind of just went with Canon in the past just because it's consistent.
Yeah.
We have a very good rapport where the servicing, they're like toot sweet, great honest and helping. You know, and the current unit, we get our toners, we get things fairly quickly in replacement parts and repairs. It's just, you know, as items get older, or right now, when we do something double-sided, the little wheels have to fire it through twice, whereas the newer units only fire through once and catch both sides of the document, right?
Yeah.
And the unit we were looking at purchasing is smaller. We had looked at a Sharp unit as well comparatively, but just kind of decided on keeping it consistent with Canon, just to, you know, like learning how to use it and find the gems and all of that kind of stuff, right? And admittedly, just because of the cost factor and the rapport with the existing company, we didn't really seek anyone outside of, just again, because we were very happy with the service that we've, you know, received with the current company that we have a copier through.
Yeah, we used Rico, but I think Canon and Rico are almost the same. They're good quality.
I think in the past we used Digitech, but then Digitech was no longer having Canon parts. So I believe it's Innovate now, which is based out of Red Deer or something.
So if we buy outright, we would still also need a maintenance plan or something, right?
It's included in the purchase. And then
For how long?
It's a 5-year, but I'd have to double check on that. But basically, the unit, after 5 years, they give us a letter and basically that says we own it. And then the service contract still continues. So for example, with our current unit, even though we bought it in 2013, paid it outright, our service contract continued. And so we don't pay for toners, we just pay the number of copies that we use.
Yeah.
Right, so the copies that we use is sort of included within.
So do you have a recommendation?
I guess I'm leaning towards buying it outright, just because then we can enjoy some of the savings, the annual savings of coffee costs per year.
Yeah, my concern was that we'd have to add a maintenance package on, but if it's part of a
It's part of
purchase,
the purchase.
I mean, $2,000 worth of savings is $2,000.
Totally, I agree.
Is there any chance, like, are we able to sell our existing machine once one comes in, or is it going to the junker?
could.
Or
We certainly could. I have no idea what we could get for it, like we can put it out there.
I heard Rob was looking for some lawn art.
There we have a rock out front. Thank you very much.
We can certainly open it up out there to any
Yeah, there might be a,
local businesses and
Local
stuff, that if they
organization.
wanna pick it up. And
totally,
Even if we got a couple $100,
Yeah.
maybe.
yeah, better than throwing it in the landfill. So
What
then I
is-
would like to make your motion to purchase a pen photocopier for the amount of 8,500, accessing restricted for operating. Is that minus administration reserve or just administration?
And just
reserve?
administration.
And administration reserve,
Yeah, short of mine.
yeah.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Carried. The monthly statement.
I seem to sit right around that 500,000, okay?
That's what it states.
On the flip side, you should probably be getting about 800,000 or 900,000 back. Maybe not quite that well. Close to 500,000 or 600,000. Specific to our lagoon project. Yeah, so we have the grant funds coming from the lagoon project back, and I'm hoping to have a report from council. It's just submitting for the grant application here the other day, and I was very pleasantly surprised on how our numbers landed with the lagoon project. Thank you.
Welcome. Would somebody care to accept that as information?
I'll do that.
Thank you, Cindy. All in favor? Okay.
Hands up, Brian.
Yeah, we gotta get Brian's name on here once.
Close out the meeting.
But we know he'll want to adjourn.
Committee and staff reports. I don't remember when. That was that parade.
Yes, December 4th.
December 4th. Good meeting since then. December 4th, I was in the Santa Claus parade representing the town. Haven't had any meetings. That was it.
You did a wonderful job. Thank you very much for participating. And thank you, Patrick.
We kind of had our own little.
You guys did
Miles ahead of
awesome.
you guys.
Yeah. The constable that was leading the parade, he thought he was in a high-speed pursuit.
I even got a picture of our mayor with Santa.
Yeah.
And posted it on social media.
You know Santa?
He did.
Wow.
Nicely done.
He was the youngest Santa I know.
I agree. But he was a great Santa.
He was a good Santa.
Did a good job.
Deputy Mayor Gust.
I was at the Highway 1221 Water Commission meeting. I believe that was the 10th.
Yeah.
Cindy, you
Yep,
can confirm that, but I think it was the 10th.
that's correct.
And that was my only meeting.
Deputy Mayor Gus also attended a presentation to kindergarten.
Oh, I did do that. That's true. It was a lot of fun.
So, public speaking is your new forte?
No, it is not. It is definitely not. But when you're talking to great kindergarten kids, you don't have to be real eloquent.
Yeah, I heard a certain little redhead recognize some people.
Yep.
Oh.
Councillor Norley.
I was with Brian in that presentation at the kindergarten as well. I attended and chaired actually the Historical Society meeting on December 14th. Nothing really, Brian was there as well.
Nothing new in history?
Nothing new in history, other than what we are looking for is, we're gonna spend some money to put some, a sign down by the new, or beside the old fire engine. To gives a little bit of the history, and we're also thinking of creating QR codes, etc., around some of the historical areas in our town, so that people can use the QR code to find out the stories behind them. That's going to take some time. We'll look at a grant for that. Oh, the other thing we're going to do is put a sign up down there that explains that we do have a fire hall museum and where it is. So
The QR codes, let's chat from a chamber perspective, because Alberta Tourism is trying to launch an app
nice.
that would fit really well with that.
Okay,
So
yeah, let's have a chat. Yeah, we were gonna look at, because we got to create a website, create the stories, and then the QR codes would come after, but
And that's exactly what Alberta
Yeah.
Tourism's doing.
perfect.
Yeah.
Let's
And
do
there's
it.
Canadian Heritage grants and that type of thing
Yeah.
too right now. So
Well, we are a provincial registered, a provincial historical resource, so yeah, we got all access to lots of other funds, so. Yeah, that's where we're at. We will spend the rest of our casino money right away, and then we have another casino coming up in the year, and so then we will look at maybe doing another mural in town as well. That's it.
Okay. Councillor Wong.
Yeah, so on December 3rd, I attended my first CALA meeting, Camrose and Area Lodge Authority. So we had our organizational meeting and our budget review meeting. Within the budget review, in correspondence, you'll see that there was a 2022 requisition. So this requisition is an ask for funds on an annual basis. Pre-COVID, they had always asked 50K that is split up between Camrose, the county, and Bashaw. During COVID, they dropped it down to 25K. They are looking for 2022 and did pass to put it back up to that 50K. Our percentage of that 50K is 1.9%. So at 25,000, it works out to about $400. At 50K, it works out to about $800 annually. So that was passed. As of December 3rd, there was no COVID outbreaks at any of the facilities, so I think that's something positive to note. No pun intended. I did ask the question about the job vacancies in Bashaw, how that was being managed, and they are using a staffing agency, which is temporarily filling those positions with accredited individuals. So they didn't feel that there was any area of concern there. So I thought that was a positive as well. And then December 10th was the Water Commission meeting that Brian and I both attended together. And other than that, nothing else for me.
Good. Foreman Taylor. Oh, sorry.
Councillor McIntosh.
Sorry, Councillor McIntosh.
all good. Mine is pretty short. December 15th, I attended a virtual town hall with the education minister, where she detailed her changes to the curriculum rollout. I also had to decline a meeting with MLA lovely, focused around business owners in the region. So went to one, didn't go to the other. That's it.
Excellent, thank you. And again, apologies. The list used to always be alphabetized, so
Oh, sorry.
when we got to O, I thought that was-
Now I have to remember nom.
I guess I could make sure I alphabetize them, but I can do whatever order you want.
It's fine.
It doesn't matter, I could just look at the list and see
It's
what's
good.
next. It's not like it's that big a list.
Well,
Oh, now.
Okay,
you're up.
my turn. Parks, additional 3 park benches are now painted, giving us a total of 15 completed. Sanding and winter road maintenance is ongoing. Railing on 51st and 51st Ave, handrail, one step got repaired. I guess it got hit by a car.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't get hit by a
yeah.
car, got hit by I watched it.
right?
A
It
semi?
was semi, yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. Yearly maintenance on the equipment, I should say, like the grader, the loader, change some blades, did some oil change on, them, got them up to winter conditions. Still waiting for lift station 1 repairs, still waiting on a date for that. The water meter replacement program is ongoing as time permits. We had a CC valve repair was completed at 53 Second Ave, valve leak. That required a mainline shutdown, and we had to call Alberta Environment and notify them of the shutdown. All impacted residents were notified. I went around and gave them my hand notice. Additional staffing are now trained in installing water meters, so hopefully that'll increase the process and we can get more of this done and onto our new program. We hired new staff, Stephanie Brady is the newest member of the Public Works team. She's currently assisting in the arena and freeing up Lindy, I guess, for Public Works. And we continue to be down a full-time staff.
Is there a water main break on 50th right by the fire hall?
So yes.
It's the new swimming pool.
New
So
updates.
on Saturday, we had a report came in that there was some water coming up around the CC. So we had to shut things down. We tried to shut it off and try to get it under control, but we weren't able to get it shut off, and I wasn't able to get anybody in until Monday to open it up. Today we dug into the hole, and now it's looking like it's under the sidewalk and pavement. So I think a few years ago we did a repair there, and I think it might be in that area. So tomorrow we're going to have to dig in a little bit more and see where it goes. But again, this is going to require us shutting down the that block, so we'll have to do another report.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's me.
Very good.
I'd
CAO.
just like to say, Patrick, I'm hearing lots of really good things about your work in the community, so just wanted you to know that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I do as well.
We're just winging it.
Yeah, well, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job.
No, it's yeah, it's been a learning experience, and every day is, like Teresa say, it's a good day to learn new things. So
That's our mantra.
I like it. I like it.
I just keep chipping away.
And I kind of laugh too, because he survived us, teasing him continuously about the order of the Christmas lights going up around town on Main Street. Councillor McIntosh that mentioned to me that certain residents have been coming to him and that the new council is getting the credit for that. So,
Hey, that's my job. to make the president good, you know? So that's why you brought donuts today, eh? There we go.
I just spilled the beans about the new council taking credit for the Christmas decorations being reorganized.
We're not taking credit, but we're sure getting it. And I'm okay with that,
The council that saved Christmas has put out a
right? Could be a Netflix special in the works.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Well, I know the other day, Sean called the office to see if the standing trucks could come by the store, and they were there within 5 minutes, and he was absolutely thrilled with his service and timing, so. Yeah.
Well, the sanding is always like so early and so well done. It's
Yeah, it is.
incredible.
That's very important, and like, we're also trying to get at the back alleys too, which, you know, is very crucial as well, because a lot of the residents there, is back alley parking, right? And for services to get in and out of there safely, you know, that needs to be.
Well, and you can't have the garbage truck sliding into anything.
Yeah, that too.
No.
I was watching them take the corner behind the office there, I was like, ooh. But anyway,
Yeah, I appreciate that, thank you.
Teresa, you're up.
action list items from December 2nd, the rate reduction request from Polyag, they've been provided with a email decision from council by email. The 1221 Water Commission proposed budget, email had been sent, and so when I had generated this, that was when we had approved the previous, anyway. And then the Deputy Director of Emergency Management, that's outstanding, however, he sent me a quick email today, so I told him that council had made him an additional TM. And so I will be generating a more formal letter on his behalf as well. And then environmental 360 is outstanding. However, I did receive a call from Leanne Bertrand with environmental 360, and she will be providing me with some proposals. And just in our brief conversation, it sounds like some of the changes recommended are going to be fairly insignificant in nature, but some of our businesses around town that have a large volume of cardboard may be recommended to use like a roll-up bin or something instead to eliminate some of the time that it takes for them to handle and load their cardboard kind of thing, as well as it'll eliminate some of it blowing around town when there's a storm. The library, providing them with their letter as well as outstanding, to be completed. Outstanding from prior meetings, the council scheduled for the IDP, the MVP, the intermunicipal development plan, the municipal development plan, the intermunicipal collaboration framework, and the strategic plan to be booked in April. Emergency preparedness, the contact list to be updated and online access to elected official training to be arranged. The flush truck, again, we're looking at getting the data put together and having a follow-up conversation. As I was out of the office from December 3rd to 13th, and then on the 14th, I had a human resources consultation, and on the 16th was the 12th meeting. It's worked on human resource follow-up, getting updated on activities while absent, generating council agenda package and catching up on email. I think I got it down to a dull roar of 120.
Yeah, sounds like me.
And the arena staffing continues to be a challenge. However, for the season, many regular practices are bookings have canceled. So I may be looking at actually closing the arena down for a couple of days here and there. Just simply, it's a combination of factors going on, just managing staff as well as trying to give, well, the bottom line is getting some staff time off. And we're continue to be down that one full-time staff, and I'm kind of considering options of where hiring, individuals for a month contract on a full-time basis basis. So that, but then there's always that risk of overlap, because right now, the current deadline for information is December 23rd for the existing staff that's off. But then, like, that's still right around Christmas, and it's the likelihood of that individual returning at that point in time is speculative. And administratively, we're planning for the municipal treasurer's maternity leave. So I have 3 interviews booked tomorrow.
Nice.
And plans for the upcoming year, we're just managing staffing and some of the transitions. I guess one thing to mention with our current interim budget, I do have hours built in for Darlene Sinclair to continue 1 day per week throughout the full year, just because we're still back in that same boat where we need that primary staff with the expertise as well. So that's where it's kind of promising that we were able to do it well within the current budget and not even, like, just increasing that 0.9%. So I was pretty encouraged by that. And I think that's about it, other than what I missed.
Did you have a good holiday? Brady, did you have a good holiday?
Yeah, I did actually. All the kids survived. 2 hamsters, not so much.
Oh.
But that's a story for another day.
It's a good story.
Yeah. I learned a lot about hamster husbandry. So if you care to have a cup of coffee sometime, we can have a read. I'll regale you.
Let you look at it.
I'm pretty good at those.
But I don't want you. Thank you, everybody. We have a motion to accept those information. Brian?
Brian, you're passing the motion?
I do. I pass that motion.
Okay.
All in favor? Carried. There, we got your name in.
Thank you.
Correspondence, we got a lovely letter from CN that they're thankful to be our neighbor.
I
In this
believe that.
package, they sent us a bill for $60,000.
I wonder if they're so thankful.
Yeah.
Well, there's a stimulating reading right over there that they reference in their, about their community report.
Yeah, it is interesting reading.
How's it to go?
I was just gonna say.
I am thankful that it was not passed to me.
I like to throw out this statistic every once in a while. I don't know if it's still valid, but I know fairly recently it was accurate that CN was averaging a derailment somewhere in Canada every 3 days.
Oh, man.
They only count derailments when a car is on its side. If the cars stay on the wheels off the track, they just say it's on the ground. It's not derailed.
Interesting.
My dad was on the CN wrecking crew for about 20 years, so the number of times he got called out of town,
The
It's good
one,
facts.
the one time when CN destroyed both of their switches in town, that would have been, I want to say about 04, 05. The P plant was fairly new at the time. We heard the train coming. It was kind of towards the end of the day. So myself and Dick Cockshaw, we're just standing at the doors on the track side, wave at the engineer, watching the train go by. And they had probably a 50, 60 car string of the white propane tankers. And all of a sudden Dick says in his cool, calm RCMP voice, "Oh, would you look at that?" And I look, and here's one propane car running with a whole set of trucks off the rails on the ties. And there's sticks and rocks and sparks and crap flying everywhere. Boom! We ran for the office and each called a different emergency line with CN, and
Hit the decks, I hope.
they got it stopped, about halfway between here and Muir. But of course, the wheels running on the ties, wrecked a bunch of ties. But then where the switches are, it ran through the switches and wrecked both of them, coming in and going out of town.
Well, they had to rehabilitate afterwards.
Yes. So that was an adventure.
This is responding.
It sure is.
And we also have a letter from the Village of Clive and a letter from the Camrose Area Lodge Authority. What would council like to do with those?
Well, I can say that I don't disagree with Lucy Henry, actually. I think that a lot of businesses and nonprofits have taken a hit that, especially in rural Alberta, that it would be nice because we happen to know through our social programs that we often, well, for the province, we apply for funding a lot and usually get turned down. And larger centers get it. And the only reason we survived it was because of United Way. Otherwise, we would have had no extra funding whatsoever. So I actually think it's a good idea to be a part of that kind of a message. It's about time we took a look at it.
I'm a small business owner, I agree.
Yeah, no, I do. I think it's a good letter, and I don't know what were they asking for exactly? Just to support it?
Financial support for smaller business.
Yeah, no, but are they asking us to do
Or provide
I think they're just
exemptions.
sending it as a copy to us.
just a copy?
But that doesn't mean that we can't.
I wouldn't mind doing one too, actually, especially for our small businesses and community groups, because they literally, we applied for grants and consistently got turned down for them over and over again.
Larger centers being Red Deer, Edmonton, or
Cameras,
Cameras?
Noka, Macomb, they all, but not our small communities. They seem to think that if funding goes into those larger centers and they're required to support us, that will mean we will get what we need, which is exactly not true.
It'll stay in those centers.
Yeah, well, it does, and they might deposit a couple of hours here and a couple of hours there, a couple of dollars here and a couple of dollars there, but not anywhere close to what we need. So
Are you making a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we send a letter to our MLA, which would be Jackie Lovely, with the same message.
Any discussion?
Support that.
All in favor? Motion's carried. How about the rest of the information?
I further move that we accept staff, council, oh no, we did that, so
Did
this
that one, just
correspondence, just remaining correspondence is information.
Excellent. Any discussion on that? All in favor? Carried.
Brian agrees.
We have one more matter to discuss in camera if anybody's interested.
I sure am, and I, for the second time this evening, move that we enter closed session as of 8:38 PM.
You get to go home this time, I don't.
Go home, that's up.
All right, night, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, thank you.
See you later.
Brian, which one are you with again?
I'm on the
Gals?
laptop.
Okay. Well, right now I think I've just got Brian on. I don't see anything else.
Yep,
We disconnect.
we disconnected the other one.
Okay.
Sometimes was if Jackie
Okay,
was
sounds
being
good.
kinda
Cover your ears, Terry.
Shuffled off.
Jackie.
And I guess I should shut off recording.
She has not impressed me in